Hello, everyone. Diana Rankin here on our Friday afternoon get together. So good to see you. Thank you for being here. We are going to talk today about winter solstice, and I want to tell you a couple of things. This it was interesting because I thought there's so much information on the internet about winter solstice, and so much that I even have a blog out there, which it says winter solstice is a time for introspection and awakening light. And it's my journey on a winter solstice, and it's on my website. So I just put the right below here, there's information about how to get to it. I just put the link right below. You might want to read that. But I wanted to see what Philip would say as well. And so I said, Philip, what do you have to say about winter solstice? And he gave us the information, which I will read you in just a few moments here. We'll also get a message, as you know, from one of my books, the Master's Book of Answers by Philip. I didn't write it, he did. And it's just a book of oracles. As you know, we'll get our message. We'll open to any page and see what the message for the week is. Hello, Rush. Says, hi, Diana, with sunflowers and hearts and prayers. Well, thank you. Good to see you. Okay, we're going to get right into this because, and Gilda says, hello, everyone from Gilda in Woodridge, Illinois. And we're going to see what Philip has to say about the shortest day of the year, which in the US is coming up December 21st. I think that is a week from Sunday. So 9 days. And in the southern hemisphere, it's June 21st. So winter doesn't start in the southern hemisphere for another, 6 months. And for us in the northern hemisphere, it's going to start next Sunday, not this Sunday. All right. So here's what Philip has to say about winter solstice. He says, winter solstice, or as we call it, Yule, is a time of reflection and introspection and a time of renewal, not Yule, renewal. It is the shortest day of daylight of the year, which then leads to daylight lengthening. I think that's something we all knew. So he goes on to say, this is the calendar dates of December 21st in the northern hemisphere and June 21st in the southern hemisphere, which I just told you. Leading up to these dates, and here's the important part, friends. Leading up to these dates, we suggest you take time to reflect on your life this past year. What needs to change in your life? Then think about the soon to come light of longer days. What is it you want to create? Each human life has both darkness and light. Winter solstice reflects the cycles of nature, as does human life. This is the moving from darkness to light. Nature will continue her cycles. It is up to humans whether they stay in the darkness or the light. Winter solstice is the turning point for nature. It is up to each individual whether or not it is the turning point for humans. As with nature, let the light come gradually over time. The days take time for the light to lengthen. Let your joy increase as you remove thoughts of fear. Know that you are not alone. The Ancient One stands with you as you heal the wounds of yesterday and move forward. I'll read those last couple of paragraphs because I think they're important. As with nature, let the light come gradually over time. The days take time for the light to lengthen. Let your joy increase as you remove thoughts of fear. Know that you are not alone. My hair's getting in my nose here, sorry. Know that you are not alone. The Ancient Ones stand with you as you heal the wounds of yesteryear and move forward. I found that interesting that he didn't say yesterday, he said yesteryear. And I like that he said the Ancient Ones, because winter solstice has been around for years. I mean, eons, really. Um, the word solstice originally comes from a Latin word. That's how old this is. And that Latin word, if I recall, means the sun is standing still. The sun is standing still. That's what solstice means. The Latin word, I can't pronounce it, but solstice is that Latin was many, many years ago. And as the ancient Celts called solstice, it was the Yule. Um, in England, in Stonehenge, there's a huge celebration, and they were actually built. And in Ireland, it's Newgrange, and I've been inside of both areas. Stonehenge, um, the stones are in a circle. In Newgrange, you actually go inside of a structure, and the light in both of them on winter solstice, and I believe again in summer solstice as well, the light comes right through and shines on this special spot. Um, it's really, I've not been there during the celebrations, but it's fascinating to see it. And the energy inside Stonehenge and the energy inside Newgrange is just phenomenal. I can't even describe it. It's phenomenal. So if you get to Ireland, make sure you get to Newgrange. And if you get to England, or of course are in England or Ireland, to get inside Stonehenge, you need special permission. It used to be open to everyone, and people took advantage of that. So I was in there with one of my teachers on tour with Jean Houston, and that goes back many years. So just, I don't know how you get inside, but do whatever it takes to get inside of the circle. The energy is totally different inside the circle as it is outside the circle. Um, I mentioned that I have an article on my blog about winter solstice is a time for introspection and awakening light. And I just want to read a paragraph or so of it, and then I'll let you go read the rest. But this was my experience. Winter solstice comes at me always unexpected as the days shorten and the nights lengthen. Loneliness can overtake me in the darkness, leaving me feeling empty of energy. And I must remind myself to turn the loneliness into one of deep introspection and honor the sacredness of turning inward. As I witness the daylight move so quickly away, I want to hold on to it. And I remind myself to remember that all life is coming and going with few precious moments for each experience. As the participant in life's movement, I must stay present, lest I miss the richness that presents itself in the moments of my life. I remind myself of the value in darkness as I let go of the need for light. As the great bear in the west goes into her cave, I too am led into the cavern of my inner world. And it is in this inner world, I go on to say, where the richness and the honor in my personal experience. And then that expresses it. I express that out into the world. So, my friends, I can't stress strongly enough how important it is to go into that introspection and that reflection, and definitely prepare for it now. Start preparing for it now. Couple of last thoughts I had here. This is also a time of rest. Winter, I journal more, I read more in the winter. I clean out closets in the winter that I don't have time for in the summer. So all of that take place, but be sure and rest also. Embrace your inner light. Let the longer days, as you see that light coming, use that as time to embrace your own inner light. Rituals are very important on winter solstice. And for example, if you just light a candle, feel the history, feel the ancestors with you, feel all those beings who are helping you create this new light, this new energy that you're creating for the again, take the time. reflection. And then as the days grow longer, this is the light that you're creating within you, loving yourself more. It's not going to happen overnight. That's why we have the shorter days, so we can go inward and allow the light to come. It is a time of transformation. It's a time from that dark introspection and moving into the hope. And when we're in the darkness, know the light is coming. We're part of that cycle of earth. We're part of that cycle of human nature. We're part of the cycle of nature. Human nature and nature are both part of that cycle of darkness to light, darkness to light, darkness to light. And I always say life is a cone. And as we move through that cone, we're going around in a circle and we're getting higher and higher in our vibration, hopefully. But we have to move. We have to go through the cycles and spend time in gratitude for what is and what is to come. That is one of the most powerful things any human being can do, is spend time in gratitude for what is and what is to come. Is life easy? You know, at 80 years old, it's become a whole lot easier. And I think that's because I accept what life is now. Maybe I used to fight against it. I don't know. But this is a time that we are going, winter solstice allows us to go into that darkness within us and look at it and know that the days will lengthen, as will the light in us and the light around us. I love you, my friends. I thank you for being with us today. I thank you for the love that you send to us, and I thank you for the love that you receive to us to help your light grow brighter. Soul Secret Service News says, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Rush. Thank you, Gaida. Thank you, Soul Secret Service News. And for all of you who leave your comments below, I thank you as well. Goodbye, friend. Oh, I almost forgot, didn't I? Almost forgot. Here we go. We're going to get our message. There we go. I'm hearing left. If you heard left, our intuition's in sync. That's a message for everyone. If you heard right, that's a message you need to pay attention to. So on the left, it's page 60, and it says, love is. It asks nothing for itself. It gives everything of itself. I'll read that again. Love is. It asks nothing for itself. It gives everything of itself. And I want to say, I want to clarify this, because it's not saying we give everything of ourselves. We do from the heart, but we must also replenish ourselves and we must rest. This is the beginning of the time to rest. If you heard right, pain is the teacher of your growth. Have you not chosen growth? Pain is the teacher of your growth. Have you not chosen growth? All right, my friends. Until next week, I love you. I thank you. Remember, there's love, there's fear. Choose love. It feels a whole lot better.